Hi guys, how are you? I'm sure you guys are doing great, and yet in this video I'm going to talk something very important. I'm sure you heard it right because the board exams are coming nearer, and I'm going to talk something about the silly mistakes which everyone has to avoid it. So how to avoid it, I will try to understand in each categories of the silly mistakes and will provide you the solution how to avoid it. So without taking much time, so let's get started. Okay guys, so let's start doing the silly mistakes now. Not doing the silly mistakes, let's try to avoid the silly mistakes, how we can do that. So here the first mistake which generally people do is read the question wrong. So how do you read the question wrong? Let's try to understand this case. See, I'll just open one of the question paper and then I'll show you how the question reading can go wrong, right? And let's see, we have the question paper here, and look, so find the coordinates of the point A, and the AB is the diameter of the circle whose center is 2 comma 3 and B is the point 1 comma 4. So here what mistakes can happen if you didn't read the question properly. Then AB is the diameter of the circle whose center, so center we have to mark the data properly. So data they have given is center is 2 comma minus 3 and the B, the end point on the segment is 1 comma 4. So here we need to ensure that the coordinate of the point A should be x comma y. Okay, so 2 comma 3, so many times what people do is here 2 comma 3 they'll assume it as a coordinate and B is the 1 comma 4, and they end up finding the center of the line segment or the center of the circle. So that we should not do that. So how to avoid that? What is the solution of this? The solution is simple. You need to put fingers and read. So this will ensure that you will not do the reading the question wrong. So you will read the question properly as what it is written here. Example, find the coordinates of the point A means you need to find the coordinate 1. So better you draw the diagram for it, and so that it will become easier from where the AB is the diameter of the circle. So how will you draw the AB of this circle? So basically always ensure that you make the diagram for it. Let me just read the question and make a diagram here so that everything will be clear here. So if the question is given to you as AB is the diameter of the circle whose center is 2 comma minus 3. So AB, so this part will become the A, this part will become A, and this part is B, correct? So this part is A, fine. Now the center part, let's make the center as here center is, let's say, O. The center is O, fine. So what they have given is 2 comma, center is 2 comma minus 3. So basically this coordinate will be 2 comma minus 3 and this B coordinate is 1 comma 4. B coordinate you have to mention is 1 comma 4. Okay, so that's how you need to find out. So basically A coordinate you can take it as x comma y. Okay, now the question is very clear. Diagrammatically it's very clear. You need to find the x comma y. You can apply the midpoint formula. We'll do the work for it. Okay, so next part of silly mistake is data copying mistake. How does the data copy mistake happens? Now data copy mistake means you are writing the numerical value wrong from the question. Example, if the sine square 60 plus 2 tan square 45 minus cos square 30 is given to you, and if you end up you put, let's say, what I mean is the data copy is, let's understand, this is the data here, I have the data here. Now let me just copy this data and tell you what exactly I mean. So if I copy the data, let's say, sine 60 plus tan 45 minus cos 30. So let's say I put the square on all the places. I put square on all the places, and when I do that, I forgot to put this 2. Can you see that? This 2 I completely forgot to put this 2. This 2 I did not put it here. So this is called the data copying mistake. So see, when does this happen? This is called the data copying. This is called the data copying mistake. This we need to avoid it. So how do you avoid it, this part? Let's understand. How do we avoid the data copy mistake? The solution is, put finger and line and mark line to be copied line by line. So what does it mean? Whichever the line you're copying, try to put in the question paper, you try to put your finger and then you copy the data. So what happens is, when you put the finger, your mind and the brain, mind and the hand is working together, so that this kind of mistakes can be avoided. So always ensure that you must put finger and then write the data line by line. So that will always ensure that you will not go wrong in that part. Third kind of silly mistake happens, the transpose problem. So now let's understand what is this transpose problem. We'll try to understand the transpose problem, because whenever you want to switch the data, let's understand, we'll do something equation and then we'll try to see whether when there is a transpose problem can occur. So if I measure the bar, let's say 2x plus 5 equal to y minus 5. So by mistake, if I enter the data like 2x plus 5 equal to, or I ensure here is plus 5, and by mistake I put plus y equal to 0. So what did I do here? I did the data transpose problem right here. This becomes the transpose problem for me. This kind of mistake is called the transpose problem. This is called the transpose problem. This can happen in the division also. Let's understand what is the division. So if most of the scene I have seen 2x plus y equal to 35. Now, if I want to find this value now, what some people do here is they will do 25 y is equal to, by mistake, 35 by 2x. This is again the transpose problem. This is again the transpose problem. Okay, so it can be multiplication, it can be division, it can be subtraction, it can be sign related, it can be sign related also, or it can be multiplication or division. Anything can happen. Multiplication / division, anything can be happening here. So always ensures that, because sometimes people get confused. If I have x plus y into 2 is equal to, let's say I have 89. So some people make mistake, like if I want to get the value of x, so x should be, sometimes the mistake happen is 2x, and when they equate it, 2x is equal to 89 minus 2y, and x, by mistake x is equal to, you do something like 89 minus 2y. So this kind of mistake is again the transpose problem. Okay, because anything which is multiplied here, this should go as a division. So this becomes a problem here. So we need, what is the solution for it? Solution is simple. Recheck the transpose form. Now you need to always ensure back.
लखनऊ हो या हैदराबाद, ऑर्डर करें बिरयानी आज ही स्टार्टिंग एट ₹149।
go to the go to the this part now. 2x plus y equal to 2089, x is equal to 89 minus 2y, and then you can actually change it now here. Okay. This part is done. Now let's go to the next part. Now what next kind of silly mistake is the calculation mistake or multiplication addition mistake. So how do we solve the calculation mistake? So calculation mistake can be avoided. I'll show you how the calculation mistake happens. Excuse me. When we do this, I'll show the working of some students where they did the calculation mistake at the end, right? So calculation mistake can happen somewhere. Yeah, this is the calculation mistake here. Look at this part. This is n square minus 79 plus 5 and n square minus 39 minus 14. So basically idea is 13 and 4 was the factorization for this. 13, 4, 17. So you put it minus 13 and minus 14. So this becomes a problem right here. Okay. So this becomes the problem. So this we need to avoid it. So how to avoid it? Actually, you need to go back to the reverse tracing. So this can be avoided using the reverse tracing. Okay, so now let's go to the next part of the next kind of silly mistakes which people generally make is calculation mistake is done. How to avoid calculation mistake? You just have to redo the calculation again. When you do the reverse process, you have to avoid that. Overlooking the question. What is called overlooking the question? Overlooking means missing some data from the question. So example, I'll just show you one of the quick example of one of the students how she overlooked the question and missed the other part of the question. In the same question, you miss the part of the question. Example, let's go to the 33. So this question says is that the points A minus 1 comma y and B 5 comma 7 lie on the circle with center O and 2 comma minus 3y. Find the values of y, hence find the radius of the circle. So here let me show you the answer for this question. What she has written 33. Yeah, look at this part. So this is very clear. Using the distance formula, she has clearly written minus y minus 2 whole square plus y minus whole square, and you get the value of y. So we got the value of y, right? So we got the value of y. And now his next question is hence find the radius of the circle. And look at the answer sheet. You don't have the radius right here. So what is that missing part here? The radius is missing here, right? So I can just put it here. The radius part is missing. So this is what the overlooking of the finding radius. Finding radius is missing in this question. Got it? Next, next part is how to avoid that. Next part is that forget to answer the part of this question, overlooking question and forget to answer the part of the question. Just now we solved that part. This can be avoided by when you revise the paper. At that time you have to read the question again properly and just check only the answer part, whether this question the sub part is being answered or not. Then when you revise it, you'll easily come to know that this question was not answered, right? So after solving it, before going to the next problem, just glance through. Just glance through that. That will be a complete solution to avoid this part. Now, next part is boredom. So, how do you avoid this boredom part? Boredom part can be avoided by nothing. This you have to figure it out how you can avoid the boredom part, because you need to be conscious when you read the question paper and when you answer the sheet that time. Okay, so let's go to the next part. no complete statements. Okay, so this part is another important thing, that no complete statements means you have to always ensure that whenever you're solving it, make sure that you write the formulas clearly, and then you go for the solving the questions. That means, and whenever wherever is required, you give the proper answer in detail with the statements. If the answers in the statements is missing, then this can be the problem. So we want to avoid this, not writing enough statements. So we want, wherever is required, whenever you want to write the answers, ensure that the answer is written appropriately. I'll just show you how it can be done properly, and then we can do this. Yeah, look at, whenever the data is required, you always give the, ensure the reason for it. Look at this part, exterior angle is equal to sum of the interior opposite angle. So mention this data properly, don't do this, don't assume that this data is written in mind and then you do the operations. So ensure that you write the reason properly and then do the calculation. And let's go to the next part now. Forget to answer the complete question. This also belongs to the same, like is a similar format in which we overlook the questions. Forget to answer the complete question. So this was yet another similar example where we could not complete the answer. So solution will be, just after writing the answer, just glance back to question whether the each question subpart was answered or not. Next point is the forgetting to put the zeros now. Count number of zeros always. This happens most of the time when you have the unit conversion things. So this unit conversion things, example, if the data is given in the inches and asked you to find in the centimeter, so you need to have the conversion. Otherwise the answer will go wrong. Example, if I just show you the another example, mostly it's that example. So you look at this part. Mostly, if the length of the track is 1 kilometer and the boy is moving at the speed of 18 kilometer per hour, if you increase the speed by 6 kilometer per hour, find the time saved by the boy in completing the one round of the path. So the time. So look at this. Speed. Speed is given as kilometer per hour, and the distance is also given in kilometer. Distance also kilometer. So find the time saved by the boy in seconds. So basically, we need to find the one. We need to find the answer in seconds. So make sure the conversion mechanism has to be there, right? Because the hours has to be converted into seconds. So that conversion we need to ensure that. Otherwise, the answer will go wrong. So unit conversion is the main thing where we mostly misses out. Example, if they have given the millimeter to centimeter, if it is kilometer to meter, or centimeter to meter, or it can be hectare to meter, and inches to centimeter. Those things has to be taken care. Yeah, so on meter, okay, so this part is done, so here we have already seen this part. Now let's go to the next part of the mistakes which generally happen. Yeah, forgetting to put the zeros and count number of zeros always. Basically, this can happen when you have the answers most of the time in zeros. Example, if the, let's say if the answer is, I have the calculation like if the answer comes 2.5 into 10 power, let's say it's a 4, and if I write the answer in hurry, if I write the answer 2500, and if I write 25 only 00, so I miss out. So this missing is missing 10. This is another problem can happen, so we have to avoid this problem. So always ensure the decimal point is 1, so you have to subtract the 1 0 from here and mention that as 2500 as an answer. So we covered almost the 10 mistakes which generally happens. So I hope this video makes sense, and revise this part in case you have any other mistakes which you find, and we can place in any of these given categories. So I think almost all the categories are covered here, and just keep working on this part, and we can avoid all the mistakes. And these are the solutions. Solutions always ensure that solution should you should follow for each and every kind of mistakes which happen. The solution is very simple. It's very easy to implement also. Once we become observant of the solution, so mistakes will get avoided. Okay, I hope it makes sense to you. Thank you so much. Bye.